Welcome, everybody. I am live across all platforms right now. I am on the Facebook. I am on the Twitch. I am on the X. I am on the YouTube. This is Thursday Thrashing on Friday, man. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I hope you got to spend the time with family and friends. I hope you had a little rest and relaxation. I hope you enjoy your day off today, man. Maybe do a little Black Friday shopping. I've always been a big fan the day after Thanksgiving, man. I can remember going back to owning my video stores. And my father and I would literally go to Circuit City at like 12 o'clock at night and wait online to, buy a product for our store for the Christmas rush. That was always a very, very special time. Love Black Fridays. I love getting out in the hustle and bustle come Christmas time. I have always been a huge mark for that. As a matter of fact, man, I'm not going to lie to you. That is why I pushed the time of this show up today, bro. It is Black Friday. I got to get out there. I got to see what I might be missing. Guys, I want to tell you again, listen, we got a lot to talk about today, but if you want to be part of the conversation, you got to do it through a super sticker or a donation. And I will bring you right up on the screen. And you may ask, Vince, why do we got to have a super sticker or a donation for you to answer our question? And the answer is quite simple. Because I am working right now. I am not only working for myself, I am working for Jeff Lane, and I am working for every single person employed by Russo's brand. These people got to be paid. In order to be paid, I've got to generate income. They're depending on me. You know, I can't tell Stevie Ray, Stevie, not going to pay you this week. Can't do it. So I got to come on here and I got to hustle. And we got guys like Traffic Jam who totally understand. Happy late Thanksgiving to the great Vince Russo. Thank you very, very much, Traffic Jam. That's how you do it, guys. Donation, super sticker. I will bring you right up. I swear to God, I was in a hurry this morning, so my hair is extra poofy. I hate when I have the poofy hair. I got the poofy hair today. I might have to do something with it after the show. Guys, I want to thank you because I was informed this morning by Jeff Lane that the latest episode of JCW Lunacy, which premiered last night at 7 o'clock Eastern, is already up 5,500 views from last week's show. 5,500 views. And I want to thank you guys, man, because again, I talked to you guys about storytelling. I talked to you guys about setting the table. We set the table for about 5 weeks of a new investor. And then for about 3 weeks, we threw you a swerve of who you thought the new investor was. And then finally last night, man, the new investor was revealed. Now let's look at that. There's a 5,500 view bump. That is why, guys, I built the anticipation of who the new investor was. And bro, listen, you know all the excuses you hear? Oh, it was Thanksgiving. Oh, there was a Hallmark movie. Oh, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer did a great number. You know all the excuses, bro, when the wrestling numbers suck? Yesterday was Thanksgiving, bro. It was Thanksgiving, and we had the largest first viewing audience that JCW has ever had. The largest audience on Thanksgiving. And if you don't think I'm not going to use that to stick up everybody's butt, you are wrong, bro. You are absolutely wrong. Last night, the first showing, we had a live audience, the highest it's ever been on Thanksgiving night. Gabish? You understand, bro? You understand these things still freaking work. Now I am proving that they still freaking work, bro. They still work. They never stopped working. You build a story and they will come. You understand? Build a story and they will come. 5,500 more views already than last week. So don't tell me for one freaking second I don't know what I'm doing and I don't know what I'm talking about. No, bro, I've always known what I'm freaking talking about. It's just the people writing and producing wrestling shows are not qualified. Tony Khan is not qualified. I don't care how many shows you wrote when you were 7. It does not qualify you to write a television show. Triple H is not qualified. I don't care how many belts you won. You're not qualified to be head of creative. And that's why the shows, quite frankly, suck. Lewisum, thoughts on Brett saying Vince and Sean were gay? Bro, that has been around forever. That is nothing new. As a matter of fact, many, many, many years ago, King Kong Bundy said that on a show where I interviewed him. I was told that Road Warrior Hawk has publicly said that. So that's not a new story, bro. This is the third wrestler that I know of who has made this statement. Now, do I know? Of course I don't know, bro. And I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. But here's what I do know. Man, whenever a story like this comes out, it's got to come from somewhere. I mean, I can't imagine that a story like this is just created out of the blue. That is very, very hard for me to understand. You know, it's very, very much like the Stephanie McMahon, Macho Man Randy Savage story. I find it hard to believe, bro, that came out of midair. I don't believe that. There's got to be a seedling that comes from somewhere. So again, Brett is not stating anything that has not been said before. User name Lewis, thank you very much. You've been a member for 2 months. Guys, you could be a member of YouTube for 99 cents a month, bro, and get exclusive videos. However, you can also get a free week of the brand, guys. A free week of Russo's brand. You just got to go to patreon.com/Russo TWC. Get your free week of the brand. After that, bro, if you like what we're doing, you could sign up. It starts at 75 cents a week. Do you understand that? That is $3 a month. If you like your free week, you could sign up after that. Again, guys, anything you want to ask me. You want to ask me about Ariel Helwani. That interview I thought went really, really, really well. I think Ariel was happy with it. You want to ask me about what happened last night on JCW Lunacy. I will be glad to talk about that. Whatever you want to ask me, guys, we're going to do that through a super sticker or a donation. But I swear to God, bro, I'm just excited about the fact that all the things I've talked about for years and years and years that still work, now I'm in a position where I can show you how they still work. And last night's show we showed you how it still worked. For 3 weeks, you thought Big Vito was the investor of JCW Lunacy. And then as a cliffhanger, at the end of last week's show, Vito said, I'm not the investor, but the investor will be here next week. Guys, that's a cliffhanger. That is called a cliffhanger. How hard is that? We come back the very next week. 5,500 more people have viewed the show on YouTube. That's how it works, bro. That never stopped working because it is all in the storytelling. And, bro, I do want to say this. This is my fourth. Yesterday was the fourth show that I wrote. And the first 4 shows, the matches don't really line up with the stories because you've got to tell the stories first. So I've got to lay a little bit of a foundation, bro. I got to lay a little bit of a house. So these first 4 weeks, man, you've been getting a lot of cold matches as I'm building the foundation. By the time we get to week 10, guys, I told you, man, we did a show last Thursday, actually November 22nd, a week ago. And every single match came from story. Every single match. There were no cold matches. But again, I want to make it clear to you, bro, that took 10 weeks to build. You can't do that in one show. And my point is, this is exactly what Ed Ferrara and myself were doing 26 years ago at WCW. The exact same formula, bro. We were building down the old foundation and putting up a new one. You need 3 months to do that, bro. And that's what Ed and I were doing. And the reality of it is the ratings were going up for those 3 months. But then, of course, the politicians got involved. And, hey, Vince, we're going to go in a different direction. And old Vince said, bro, that is great. You can go in that different direction without me. Just make sure you pay me. And that's exactly what happened. Traffic jam. Thank you very much. JCW made the smartest investor in history. Guys, I want to talk about this too, because this is an interesting question that I got yesterday during the live stream. Guys, when Lunacy goes, its first showing, 7 o'clock every Thursday, 7 Eastern on JCW Lunacy, I am in the chat room. And you could talk to me and you could ask me questions. Somebody asked the question. I thought Vince Russo hated being an on-air character. And guys, I tell this story all the time. I did hate being an on-air character. I never wanted to be an on-air character. But I was getting so much pressure from WCW for ratings that my mindset was, you know what? You want ratings? F you. I'll go out there and do it myself. I should have never done that, but I did because they pissed me off. In the early years of TNA, I was an on-screen character. But I was an on-screen character, bro, because there were a lot of young talents. AJ Styles, nobody knew who AJ Styles was back then. You know, the Elix Skippers, you know, the Kiwis, so many guys were so freaking young back then. You know, Harrison Storm, I can go on and on and on. So because I was a little bit of a veteran, I knew I could help As a heel, I knew I could help those baby faces get over. I knew I could help get heat on the heels. But if you notice my later years in TNA, I never got back on screen. I never got back on screen with Hogan and Bischoff. As a matter of fact, they did an angle where you had to vote for me or Dusty Rhodes as far as the commissioner of TNA. The way it was written, Dusty won, and you never saw me again. You never saw me again. I never came back on television. I never came back on television because when you got veterans on the show, you don't need to be on television. And think about it, man. Back then, we had the mainstream mafia. I did not need to be on television. However, when you've got young talent, when you've got unknown talent, my presence and my history and my experience and my years in the business can help those talents. So if there is a purpose, I will do it. And there definitely is a purpose. A lot of young guys over at JCW, a lot of young guys that I really, really, really love. A lot of guys that I want to help get over. I want to get the most out of them. So that is why I am an on-screen character. I hope there answers your questions. Ram, that ninja, there are no holes, 0 holes, because that story will be explained. Guys, you cannot look at a story and say, and this is a movie or a television show. Let me tell you something first off. Anything I write, there are no holes in. I promise you, bro, there are no holes in. You cannot watch a movie or a TV show and watch the beginning of the movie before you know where it's going to go and say, oh, there's a hole. No, there's no holes. I know what the promo was yesterday. And yes, Joe and I did talk. You don't know what happened after that. So don't sit there and talk to me about freaking holes. Watch the show. Watch the show. And everything will be explained. I don't leave holes. Yes, I said Joe called me about helping his company. That's what I said. And then we go to Joe doesn't know who the investor is. Well, maybe there's a story between those 2 points. Understand? Don't try to get me on there's a plot hole. When it's a Vince Russo story, there are no plot holes. Understand? Watch the show every week and it will all be explained. Hannibal Miles, what's up, bro? How did the interview with Ariel come about? How he must watch and agree with the content you, Coach Stevie, and Ben put out? No, bro. Hannibal, 1,000%. That came from JCW. JCW's PR guy, Derek. Great, great, great dude. Derek set all of that up. So I want to thank Derek for that. That's how it came about, bro. Mr. Soldier, Vince, I'm loving JCW. Could it be possible to consider having a mic volume adjustment for the commentators? Because it gets a bit loud at times. Also, the ring math would be a simple color instead of this multiple black lines design. Well, Soldier, that's a good point about the audio. I will bring that up. Mr. Soldier, I'm going to tell you something. And again, bro, this is just my opinion. One of the things that really caught my attention about JCW early on, bro, I love the colors. I love the color scheme. I love the chaos. I mean, the show is called Lunacy. I love the mat. I do. And again, bro, that is just opinion and taste. I can understand you, Mr. Soldier, 1000%, but I'm telling you, like, I like it. And there are some people that like it. So here's the bottom line, bro. Everybody's not going to like everything. That's impossible. That is an absolute impossibility. I like the color scheme. That's me. And I didn't design that. I mean, obviously, that was already there. That is the brilliant mindset of Violent J. But I like it. Hank Chinaski. Welcome back. Sorry you got booed. I would have cheered. You were good on the mic. I'm looking forward to these disaster. Yeah, you ain't seen nothing yet, Hank. Thank you very much. You ain't seen nothing yet. And as I said, there is a story between how Jay and I spoke, and then Jay did not know who was coming in as the investor. You got to stay tuned, guys. I never pay off anything the same freaking day. And you guys should know that by the Attitude Era, bro. The higher power, the Rock joining the corporation. I don't do things in 15 minutes. That's not storytelling. That is not storytelling. Scott wants to know who was my favorite wrestler growing up. Oh, Scott, I had a few. Man, I got to tell you, bro. I really love the managers, Scott. I really love the big three, man. I really love the Grand Wizard. I love Freddie Blassie. I loved Albano. I love the Valiant Brothers. I love Ernie Ladd. I love Chief J Strongbow. I would have to say those guys. The Valiant Brothers, Ernie Ladd, and Chief J Strongbow. Now, if you want to know, Scott, who my favorite wrestler of all time is, and who I think the GOAT was, I think that would be Randy Savage, without a shadow of a doubt. I thought Randy was great. I got to interview Randy. I got to spend some time with him and his family that I'll never forget. And I think Randy was the absolute GOAT. What other questions you guys have? Guys, we will do that through a super sticker or a donation. Any questions about JCW, the Hawani interview, anything you wanted? Some of my comments during that interview, I got no problem talking about them. Did I say Jim Cornette was a goof? Absolutely, I did. Why did I say that? Well, Jim Cornette is a goof. That's why I said it. Traffic Jam. JCW is the best show I've ever watched in the last 20 years. WWE, AEW needs Vince Russo and the creative as ever before the investor strikes. Yeah, Traffic Jam, that will never happen. I have zero interest writing for them. Not that they have any interest in me writing for them. They don't, and that's fine. I love working with Violent J. I love the roster. I love the dudes behind the scenes. I love those in management. It's a really, really, really good fit for me. So is the new investor have a problem with Vito not actually finding cocaine when he said he would? Is he going to have a problem with Jay supporting and employing a drug addict who go? You got to watch the show, bro. You got to watch the show. And I love that you're asking all those questions because that's what it's about, bro. That's what it's about. When you watch a wrestling show, you want to be able to ask questions. Bonnie Hammer, one of the greatest TV executives of all time, she taught me early on, Vince, you always want the audience asking questions. That's why they tune in the next week. You always want them asking questions, bro. Guys, again, super sticker donation. I will answer any and all questions you have. Guys, please remember, get your free week, guys. It will cost you nothing. Enjoy. Worst case scenario, man, you enjoy the brand for a week. Worst case scenario. Patreon.com/Russo TWC. And if you're watching this on YouTube, guys, please like the channel. Like the channel. It helps the algorithms. Jeff Lane, bust his ass on this channel. Show us a little love. Were you nervous before you walked out? I wasn't, Hank. I really wasn't. Because what I'm more concerned with, Hank, is putting myself in the moment. That's what I'm more concerned with, putting myself in the moment. Because if I put myself in the moment, it's going to be real, and the viewer is going to believe it. So I'm more occupied with my mind, getting in the moment. That's what I'm really, really, really focused on. Let's see. So you made wrestling exciting again. Thank you. Well, listen, I keep telling you guys this over and over again. You ain't seen nothing yet, man. You ain't seen nothing yet, bro. This is the 4th show I wrote. 4th. You ain't seen anything, man. The last one I wrote was the 10th. And by the 10th show, everything is clicking, man. Everything is clicking. So again, man, hang with it. I'm glad you guys love it thus far, but you ain't seen nothing yet. Will you bring disco into JCW? Well, I got to be honest with you, Ganginski. Disco has yet to apologize to me. Disco has yet to apologize to me. So I don't know, bro. Maybe if Disco apologized, I would have a change of heart. But until I get some type of a form of apology, that is probably off the table, bro. Russo number 1. That's a gimmick infringement, bro. This generation has low attention span due to phone use. Attitude Era style Crash TV is perfect for them. Make JCW just like Attitude Era 7s. Absolutely, bro. But again, that is going to take time. That cannot, Rome, what do they say? Rome was not built in a day. We got to get there, guys. We got to get there. But after every show, I promise you guys are going to be saying, they're getting there. They're getting there. Russo said they got to get there. They're getting there. I promise you, bro. Jay Brom. I thought it was Jay Brone. Jay Brone I would have popped for. Which JCW characters are your favorites to write for aside from Vito and the Outbreak? Why? Is that obvious? Is that obvious? Bro, there's a lot of characters you have not seen yet. There are a lot of characters you have not seen yet. And I got to tell you, man, I enjoy writing for all of them. I really do, man. And there's a lot of characters you have not even seen yet. So stay tuned. Hank, were Vince McMahon and Shawn Michaels lovers? Bro, I have no idea. I never saw Shawn and Vince do anything. Vince or Shawn never said anything to me. I don't know. Bulldog, I'm liking it so far. It would have been crazy if McMahon was the investor. You know what, bro? I'll be honest with you. Yeah, it would have been crazy. But if he didn't have me writing for him, I think it kind of would have sucked. Let's see. 6 Hybrid. Backstage sends remind me of the Trailer Park Boys. I will take that as a compliment. Bro, I swear to God, so many times I started watching the Trailer Park Boys, and I really liked it. But then I stopped watching it. I don't know why. I guess I got tied up in something else. But that show has been around for a while. That show has a really good following. And yeah, I will take that as a compliment. So, guys, there's a brand new episode of Lunacy up. It debuted at 7 o'clock last night. So what? It's been up for about maybe, well, it was actually 5 o'clock my time. So it's been up there for over 24 hours now. Check it out, guys. Check it out. And again, I'm just telling you guys, I wish I could make everything happen in one show. I really do. But it don't work that way, bro. It just doesn't work that way when you're telling stories. Bro, think about this. Think about all these series on Netflix. A lot of times, bro, there are like 8 episodes on Netflix. Think about that. Think about the slow build. You watch episode 1, you have no idea where this thing is going. They give you enough of a cliffhanger in episode 1 to watch episode 2. A lot of things are happening. You don't know where they're going. By the time you get to episode 8, every question is answered. So check that out, guys. That's no different than writing wrestling, bro. It's no different. You got to lay down the foundation, bro. You got to tell the stories. You got to define the characters. You got to build drama. You don't do that. You don't do that in 4 shows, man. You just don't. Russo number 1, plans to increase roster, larger arenas, TV deal. Well, it's a little different, bro, because JCW ties in ICP concerts with their shows. So in other words, bro, there's a wrestling show first, and then following that, ICP puts on a concert. So that may have some kind of an effect on the venue, on the venues that they choose. And as far as bringing guys in on the roster, yeah, bro, first of all, I want to get the guys on the roster over. The current guys are great, and I want to get them over. Are guys going to come in and out? Absolutely, positively, guys will come in and out of the roster. What else, guys? Any other questions, comments? We're going to do that through a super sticker or a donation. Like I said, man, I hope everybody had a great holiday. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. I'm looking forward to a little Black Friday today. If you ran WWE, who would you have lead creative? Bin Hameen, bro. Bin Hameen. That's who I would have lead creative, bro. Freaking dude is a genius. I was consulting for the USA Network a couple of years ago, and I brought Bin and Stevie Richards in to help me. And those guys are absolutely phenomenal. You could see how great Stevie is through his YouTube channels. And Bin, wow, Bin's got such a great mind. Vince sounds Canadian sometimes, like Trish Stratus. Do I sound Canadian sometimes? Oh, don't Canadians say about? I don't say about. What else, guys? Any last minute questions, comments? We will do it through a super sticker. Again, guys, when something is free, you don't turn it down. Go to patreon.com/Russo TWC. Get your free week of the brand. After that, it's 75 cents a week. If you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like the channel. It helps us out. What was Vince's house like? Was it huge? Bro, honestly, not as huge as you would think, bro. Not as huge as one would think. I mean, it was a big house. And bro, I never toured his house. We always went to the same part of his house. So I never toured the whole house. Scott, do you watch New Japan Pro Wrestling? Absolutely not. No, I do not. Not interested. Scott, that is just me. Some people love Japan wrestling. I don't. I'm a baseball fan. I don't watch Japanese baseball. That is just me. All right, guys, I am going to wrap this up. Please, man, please, let's continue to get those numbers up. Bro, you get those numbers up, then we're on a streaming service. You get us on a streaming service, and we get those numbers up, then maybe a network looks at us. That's how it works, man. That's how it works. If you want Attitude Era Wrestling back, all you casual fans that are not watching anymore, man, then you want to support JCW Lunacy. You can go check out the first 4 shows that I wrote. Check it out, bro. JCW Lunacy. Hold the phone. Delando Dave with the investor storyline. I was hooked. I couldn't wait for the next show. Keep the stories coming. If Vince Russo is writing a wrestling show, there are always going to be stories, and not just one story, multiple stories. That is it, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for the super stickers and the donations. If you guys want to follow me on X, it's at the Vince Russo. Check out the Ariel Hawani interview. I think you'll enjoy that. Yes, russosbrand.com, where the pros are the pros. Take care, everybody.